Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here. I am back at last. Will has made phenomenal progress.
Alec, this is totally wrong. The guard is supposed to be like that. How embarrassing.
You're out of the workshop for 1 week, you just forget everything. So I apologize for that. He's made phenomenal progress on it. The saw breaker is looking beautiful. Oh, I like how lined up everything is. And we are back at it. We both got a couple different things to work on this. Now, this handle, you gonna tell them about the plan for the handle?
Sure, so this is not what the handle is going to look like. Right now it's just raw African blackwood and it looks cool, but it's not what we're going for. We're gonna go ahead and do a wire wrap on it. So we're gonna take strands of wire, we're gonna twist it, we're gonna wrap it around really tight and then press it into the groove so it's covered over the whole handle and it's gonna look really nice. And then we're gonna tie little Turk's head knots, which is kind of like, it looks like an infinity, it looks like it doesn't ever end, and it's a very cool kind of finial for those wire wraps, and there's gonna be one right there and one right there.
So we need a lot of wire. Now, you ordered some wire while it was that I was away.
I did, and it does not look how it looked in the pictures.
So, we got some things to do, but before we jump into it, let's thank today's sponsor, which is Cove and the Cove Commuter. So this is a portable Bluetooth speaker, and it's pretty impressive what this can do. Pause and play happens right up here. Got yourself a little volume dial here. And this is shockingly impressive. This is a like 2,400 square foot shop, and I can safely say that this is filling a whole lot of the shop. You can be all the way over here, still enjoying the music perfectly well. There's a whole lot of bass for such a tiny little thing. We're on the other side of stairs and metalworking equipment, and I really hope you can pick it up. Works very well. I got it connected to my phone, and it says it can be connected up to 30 feet away. Well, I think we're a stretch over 30 feet. And the Bluetooth on that speaker is still picking this up. Super impressive. What I love about this is, you know, down here on the big workshop floor, great, we've got big speakers, but you can't go lugging around a big speaker everywhere you go. And so I love being able to take this up into the jewelry studio and completely fill this room with music. You can grab yourself the Cove Commuter for 65% off at my link in the description, coveaudio.com/AS65, using code AS65 at checkout. And so as this sad song begins, we're gonna jump back into the video, and I hope that you go and grab yourself one of these at the end. So my first step is going to be dealing with wire. So this is the wire that we received. It's much thinner than any wire we have in the shop. It is iron wire, but what we don't like about it is it's so shiny. That's not good at all. Now, how can we fix shiny wire? We can fix it by heating it up. You might well remember me making this wire when I made the Scottish Claymore. Pretty sure I promised I'd never do a Scottish accent again when I made this. It's bronze wire and it's twisted. I twisted a whole bunch of it, but after twisting it, it work hardened, and so I had to heat it up and anneal it. I achieved that by making a spool, and I put it in the forge. Now, I've got a few extra little high-tech toys here, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take off the bronze, put it in the lathe, use the lathe to wrap the iron wire around the spool, and then put it in the Paragon heat treating ovens to blacken this with some oxides. The thing that I just thought about is, what do we sometimes use wire for? To stop things scaling. And I just wrapped wire super tightly, and I'm very worried that we might not get any oxygen to the wire at the bottom, and it might not oxidize. This could be just a terrible idea. So I might have made a very big mistake. This wire might not oxidize at all. This is a Paragon heat treating oven. We're gonna heat up this spool and anneal it, and we're gonna see if it blackens all the wire. With the spool heating up, I'm now gonna take this pommel and see what I can do to drop some weight. After scaling a flight of stairs, look what I've got. The pommel is now 109 grams. I'm really struggling here to think about how it is that I'm gonna drop weight on it, and after some time, I think the key is this. The end of the pommel is not finished as it should be, and that's fine, because obviously Will was waiting to grind until it was overlised, but I want to make sure that we're not moving on with the pommel without knowing that we can get a more appropriate weight and feel of the balance. So right now, I'm going to jump in here, and we're going to grind this end until it is a nice, rounded concave. That's going to lose a ton of material. You know what? I'm gonna put it in the lathe. That's really, 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 really bad. The thread that I just tightened on there is inside it. That's not good. I broke the thread off. And now we get to extract it. Tell me what you see is wrong with that. I believe this is a screw extractor. It has a left-hand thread to it. I've never used one before. I think what I need to do is drill a small hole in the thread that is inside there, or the male part of the thread. Put this in a drill, reverse, and hopefully it'll bite and pull it out. Okay. Wait a second. Well, what did you do to my office?
What?
What's this?
I just figured we needed some decorations up here. Bonjour, that's fancy for hay. Well, would you like to speak to my manager or something?
What is this? It won't come off!
It's A for Alec. What? You're ruining the decorations. Alec, how is it gonna look nice in here if you take down all the good decorations? Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Will. I really appreciate the thought.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it looks lovely in here.
It was just a little bit blank.
Yeah, you bet.
We figured we needed some tasteful decorations.
Got the drill in reverse. Oh yeah, baby. Woo! That was actually really easy. That wasn't so bad. It's just that now I have to make a new M4 thread to grind it anyway. So back to the lathe, same again, and then to the grinder, hopefully without snapping it. No more lathing. After the little bit of lathing that I have to do.
Hey, speaking of bad news.
What's that, Will?
I do believe that this wire was galvanized.
Why is that?
Because it's yellow, and that's not good. At all.
Shoot.
Not even like a little bit good.
Not even a little bit good, Will?
Not even a little. Here, let's just.
So, if that wire is galvanized, which it kind of is looking like it, we're in a...
It's not galvanized.
It's not galvanized. I've got to really think about what we're gonna do now. I mean, what is our course of action? Zinc, Will, zinc. So I have done some grinding on it, and I really like, ooh, it's hot. And I really like the way it's looking. You'll see, not only do we have a concave here at the top, but I've actually convexed the sides and taken off a little width there, and I think it looks just a smidge more elegant. It will be interesting to see how much weight we've lost That's not bad. I can't remember exactly how heavy it was before, so this is how heavy it was before, and this is how heavy it is now. Regardless of how much is taken off, we've definitely made headway, which is reassuring. I'd love to put it on the Swordbreaker though to see how it feels. A good opportunity for us to see what Will has been working on. What have you been doing?
Believe it or not, I've been hand sanding on the guard. It probably surprises all of you a lot, since I hate hand sanding and guard work. But it's looking absolutely fantastic. We're getting very, very close.
Sorry, please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
The guard lugs are sanded to 600 grit. I'm doing the little finials on the end right now, and then I'll move on to doing the D-ring, which is going to be the hardest part of this guard, I think, to finish out. So, getting there. It's looking good. It's exciting. We're almost done with the guard. Before, I guess, the gold inlay, that is.
All right, let's put it together. I want to see how this thing feels.
Can I see the pommel? This looks fantastic.
Doesn't that look good? I got a little convex in there, and I think that that's a nice little stylistic feature.
It's not hot.
If you stop tossing it, you'll be able to actually look at it.
No, it's okay. I like getting the good angles on it.
Oh, that looks so much better even. Just that tiny little bit has made it look way less bulky.
So are we thinking we're not going to ovalize it now?
I don't know what we're thinking, Will.
I'm thinking we're not going to ovalize it now.
Uh-oh. I think it's starting to get there. I think, ow, that's still hot. I think that we have made some improvements.
Absolutely.
Ovalizing it will definitely be a further improvement though. So I've been holding it, having a feel of it, and it is definitely an improvement to how it was earlier. You know, just a few grams definitely makes you have a different feel of the piece in your hand. It also has a very different aesthetic, which I like. It looks a lot lighter and more proportioned, so I'm happy about that. Meanwhile, this is, yes, yep, just cooled down enough to touch, and it's yellow.
Is this bronze wire?
So this might have been galvanized wire. Oh, did it just wipe off?
Yeah.
Oh, does it look good now?
Yeah.
Ooh. So even if it was, we might be in for a little treat because that yellow wiped right off. Well spotted, Will. Theoretically, if all of it's like this, the yellow will just fall off. Doesn't all come off here. That's not so bad. At least it's not shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we get like an oily rag, like a Scotch Brite pad with oil. Let's see if that works. So what do we reckon? I think that's gone and done it.
Yeah, we only have to do that for 120 feet of it, so.
That's okay. I think in about 4 attempts we could run that far. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that looks good.
So now that we know the finish is acceptable, we have to see if we can twist it. You'll have to use your imagination here though, because there's no way you're gonna see this. So I'm unraveling about 4 feet of the stuff. I'm gonna clip it off. Again, I hope your imagination's working well. We're gonna see if we can clamp it into the vise. And it's twisting time. Uh-oh, is it already broken? It broke right where it's held in the drill. Oh no! It broke again. We have ourselves a problem. It will not twist evenly, and it has broken so many times.
Okay, I've ordered a little bit more wire now. Hopefully the right stuff to get that wire wrap done. It's not galvanized. Should be soft enough that it'll twist nicely. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the end of these quillions a little bit more. Right now there's only facets on these 2 sides, and I'm gonna go ahead and add one on this side and one on that side to give it a little bit more of a pointed look, less blocky, less square. Should look really nice. Let's do it. Okay, so I've finished out the guard lugs, I've finished out the ends of the quillions. They're looking fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and head upstairs and use some burrs to chamfer, do some heavy chamfering on the D-ring here and try to finish that thing out as much as you can with the rotary tools before we move on to the hand finishing. I've got this pretty aggressive carbide burr here. That's what I'm gonna use to scrape out and chamfer those edges in there. Just like that. I'm gonna do it underneath the microscope at its lowest power. that thing kind of roughly, very, very roughed in. I'm gonna go back downstairs and clean up those lines with a hand file. I find it very, very difficult to get a consistent surface finish and a nice smooth contour with it, with a burr. You can kind of rough things in pretty good, but because of the way that it works, you just kind of end up carving in a lot of divots, and you can really control it a lot better with a hand file. So I'm gonna go back downstairs, clean that thing up with a hand file, try to fix my dips and mistakes and slips with the burr. That's the other thing. With a hand file, if you slip, it's no big deal. With a burr, if it gets away from you, you can carve in a pretty good little groove, which I have one that might be a little bit of a worry, but I think we'll be okay. So let's go back downstairs and clean it up.
Time to make this really natural. Oh, Will, what's that look on your face? Is there a problem?
No, yes there is.
Ah, this is my first time seeing this problem. Oh, golly gee whiz, no!
So we need to forge on the guard a little bit. So the first problem is that this little divot isn't quite centered perfectly.
This one right here, that divot.
That divot in it, that's an easy fix, luckily. Centering that divot is an easy fix. The hard fix is the centering of this. That needs to get moved around side to side.
Now I'm wondering, maybe I can just hammer it over cold? Oh boy. See if this works. Maybe a little better? Potentially. Still need a little more. This is not looking good. Kind of, maybe looking good. So up to now I've been primarily hammering from this direction here. Feels like something is happening, but I think the next step is to try and get some of this material down some more. So I'm gonna heat it up with a torch here, and then hammer here. That'll probably further serve to bring this around, while also evening out the look of the loop. That was the best little slice of improvement I've had on this thing in the past little while. We may at last. I think we've gone and fixed it. I think we have it close enough to run upstairs and get it with some rotary tools at last. I've been making progress here on the inside using a combination of burrs, rubberized abrasives, and files. But I'm finding that those rubberized abrasives aren't coarse enough or aggressive enough. Neither is this little Scotch-Brite slash sanding wheel. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a tool right now. I'm gonna take this worn out rubberized abrasive wheel, I'm gonna cut it off, I'm then gonna cut a slot down it, and we're gonna see if we can put some sandpaper inside it and have this be a little sandpaper holding mandrel so that we can properly and effectively go down to the grits that are actually gonna get the work done, but then go up higher to get a good surface finish. This is a tiny diamond cut-off wheel. It is ridiculously thin. This is how we're gonna do most of the work. We still have a bunch of work to do on the guard, but we're gonna call it there for an episode. We hope you have enjoyed watching. We're gonna do some more very soon. Be sure to go check out Cove. They sponsored this video. You can get that amazing deal in the description on that portable speaker. Thank you, Cove. Thank you guys for being here. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.